let's talk about lipomas because I got one and some of my clients did too while doing carnivore diet. Welcome back to my channel. So finally I decided to go on the carnivore diet to reverse rheumatoid arthritis. I eliminated all the foods, I gave up coffee, and then it was time to get into ketosis. And I thought that would be an easy ride for me because I came from the conventional ketogenic diet, so I was familiar with going into ketosis. I've had keto flus in the past, so I didn't think it was going to be difficult. And indeed, going into ketosis wasn't difficult at all. It would take about 2 to 3 days max, and I was in deep ketosis. But the problem started with staying in ketosis over too consistently for a period of time. So in the beginning, I would last 6 days max, and then by Saturday night I would start eating fruit, and I would overeat the fruit. I mean, it was crazy. I would have like 5-6 apples, some banana, some strawberries, some other berries, and that went on through Sunday to Monday, and Monday I was back to square one. I was promising myself not to do it again, and then I would go on with ketosis until Saturday evening of the following week, and then back to fruit binging. And that went on for a few weeks before I got the ketosis right. Till this day, I don't know why I struggled so much, because I've done ketosis before. I was in ketosis for a lot longer periods of time on the conventional ketogenic diet, and I didn't have that much hard time with staying in ketosis. But this go around, it was a real struggle. And so while I was going through this ridiculous ketogenic roller coaster of being in ketosis for a few days, out of ketosis, overeating on fruit, way too much sugar, then back to no sugar for a few days, and then eating too much sugar, I started getting this funny itch right on my elbow, and I kept touching my elbow for a few days, and then one morning I woke up with this extra elbow. It looks like a really pointy elbow, but it's really a fatty deposit underneath my skin. It is soft to touch and it kind of moves. And I also noticed some more on my Achilles tendon, also on my left leg. And yes, during that crazy transition between ketosis and too much sugar, I developed lipomas. Working with other clients, I noticed the following. Those that develop lipomas prior to going on the carnivore diet, they would see their lipomas actually going away. And those that were already on a very high carbohydrate diet and they struggled with transitioning to the carnivore diet, they would sometimes have those lipomas pop up. What happened to me was that the ones on my leg disappeared when I was staying consistent on the carnivore diet and staying in ketosis. And this one started actually getting a little smaller, and rather than being in one big bump, they started breaking up into smaller bumps that I can actually feel, and they're much more movable, and it is flatter than it used to be. And then I got pregnant, so the whole process of disintegrating stopped. If you start Googling lipomas, the causes of them are unknown, although there is a genetic component to them. It is thought that people over age of 40 are more prone to developing them than the younger population. They're classified as benign tumors. It is easy to remove them surgically, or in traditional medicine, it is recommended that you use castor oil on them. However, in the carnivore community, what we are noticing is that people that had lipomas prior to going carnivore actually see them disappear when they succeed on the carnivore diet. And so it seems that lipomas, along with skin tags, skin discoloration on your neck, your groin, and your armpits, are telltale signs of insulin resistance and kind of telling you that you are on the way to developing diabetes type 2. So if you address your carbohydrate consumption, excess of it, then there's a good chance that your lipoma will go away on its own. And I think my case also demonstrates that overeating on carbohydrates will lead to lipomas, because I was doing this nonsensical thing of going into ketosis, restricting all the carbohydrates, and then going to the other extreme of overeating of carbohydrates, and I did it long enough that my body reacted. And I will see my clients developing lipomas that go on the carnivore diet, but they end up in the same predicament as I did, where they struggle to stay consistent with the diet long enough. So they go through these periods of being on the carnivore diet, then overeating on carbohydrates, and then back to carnivore and back to eating carbohydrates. And it seems that if you do this roller coaster long enough, your body will respond, letting you know, I had enough. Here's your lipoma, stop. So if you are worried that you may develop lipomas because you are going on the carnivore diet and eating all this meat and animal fats, this really isn't it. It's the case of overeating of carbohydrates, and it seems that you can accelerate the whole process if you are going through, being on a carnivore diet for a few days, then overeating all carbohydrates, and then trying carnivore diet yet again, and then back to eating too much of carbohydrates. It seems that would cause lipoma in my case. And people that had lipoma prior to going on the carnivore diet, but they were consistent with staying in a carnivore diet, they were able to get rid of their lipomas. At this time, I am still eating some fruit so that I can retain some water and produce more milk, because I am breastfeeding. And yes, I know I can produce the same amount of nutrients in the lesser amount of milk, but let me tell you this, my little one does not appreciate that at all. So until I'm done with breastfeeding, I will be eating some fruit. Now, as soon as I'm done, I will go straight to PKD with continuous ketosis over 2, and I will give it some time to see if this lipoma will go away, and I'll keep you posted. Until then, if you haven't yet subscribed, hit that notification bell. If you like to be coached by me, the links are in the description box, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.